We play.
We fight.
We conquer.
Welcome back to the Freak Show. I'm your host today, Bumpy McSquigums. Cook, serve, delicious 3. Best in the world? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, we're continuing with that, guys and gals. It's going so much worse than I thought it would, actually. I'm surprised at how terrible it's going, but it's okay. We're here for terrible. You're here for terrible. It's terrible. Let's be terrible together, shall we? And by terrible, I mean the best in the world. So, those of you who haven't done so yet, and you managed to get to the point where you can unlock your food truck customization, you can head on over. I'm going to probably keep it relatively simple. I think I'm just going to do like post-it notes and maybe just a few things and like the plushies and stuff, and that's really going to be it. But there are a tremendous amount of things there, and that's totally fine. So we do get to start off with the CSD food truck, and we can have like an entire line of food trucks, as there's a whole variety of them. Food snackers, pizza that, contrast coffee, chili bowl, so on and so forth. We also have, again, these little photos of the original CSD restaurant. Well, I suppose that's CSD2. Tarragon Tower, where CSD2 took place. A little bit of the rubble from the building that got explodedified in the very beginning of the game. Again, some more random stuff. The Island Paradise, where Chili Bowl bought their island. A little Max Wiener's menu? Takeout menu? I'm not real sure. The fact that we graduated from Chef University. There's a Black Lives Matters thing, LGBT and trans pride flags. And just a whole bunch of stuff, guys and gals. You have various different decorations with like the mag knife, passing and failing grades are there. Oven mitts. I like the cheesy hand. I like sticky chef. I like the sploffle. These are things that I particularly enjoy. As you may or may not have noticed, I had an entire army of these bobblehead chefs with real active stabby knife, as I like to say. I kind of watched this when we went into that fancier, scarier thing, so... yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see if we get there at some point. But for now, let's slap some pictures up on the wall and call it a day. Well, we'll build it up slowly over time. No need to rush. No need to hurry. And Tarragon Tower. All right. So generally, I just start throwing like literally everything that I can as I go through and just start grabbing stuff and then throwing it up there. And I usually go from top to bottom. I don't skip things, so it's gonna be a little weird, or unless I did something that was actually that entire run with all the bobbleheads that was actually themed around last Halloween, which is pretty funny. Anyway, guys and gals, we're probably only a few hours out by the time this video goes up from the game going live on Epic Games Store, as it's free game. 11 a.m. on August 11th, 2022. So you guys will be able to grab it, I think, for like 6 days or 7 days or something. And enjoy. And as such, I'm also, I think I'll be starting a stream around 10 a.m. Eastern and running it through to about an hour afterward on my Twitch and YouTube channels, I think. I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll see. Maybe just be on Twitch. Yeah, I think I'll just focus on Twitch, actually. So, if you guys could stop on by, that's great. If not, that's totally okay, too. I'll be giving some advice, some helpful hints, if anybody actually has any questions for me on that side. And, yeah. Otherwise, I'll just be kind of deeper into the game, showcasing what's what. Alright, that's enough for me to start with. And then the food truck upgrades. Now, this... critically important stuff here. This is critical that you pay attention and or at least read it for yourself, kind of make up your own mind. You don't want to listen to my thoughts and ideas here. Probably gonna take me a couple of minutes to get through this, so be aware of that. All right, so these are all the food truck upgrades. Looks kind of daunting, I guess, but it's not that bad. All right, so extra prep station. We have no choice. We have to choose this one, and we have to choose this one. Then we can start branching out. Anytime you get an extra prep station, we'll read what it says, and then I'll explain things further. Having additional prep stations allow you to serve more customers faster. So the serving points on the left-hand side, it's currently 1 through 7 on the little license plates there. You get 8, 9, 10, 11, so on and so forth. Anyway, you get all these extra numbers and extra things as you unlock more and more of these prep stations. So you get to do it faster, and you get to deduct a point from your points required menus and take in more special orders before stops. But it can also make the game more difficult if you have too many prep stations at once. You can toggle prep stations on and off once purchased. So I actually always keep these off as much as I can. So the real takeaway from this is, if you have more stations on the left-hand side, instead of only having to deal with 7 orders coming in per stop until later you get like VIP orders and stuff, but regardless, 7 orders that could be there at once, you start getting 8 and 9 and 10 and more. So say normally you've got, say, I don't know, 70 seconds to create the 7 orders. Sure, why not? Say you go up to 10 holding stations, or sorry, prep stations. 10 prep stations means you're only going to have 7 seconds per stop. So still going to have that 70 seconds to do it, but you have 10 stations, therefore you only have 7 that you can, get done in that same time, or 7 seconds to get the same, to get everything done. It's going to be one of those days, guys and gals. So instead of it being 7 seconds, or it's 10, instead of 10 seconds, it's going to be 7 seconds, so on and so forth. So the more that you have active, the more you're going to have to do on the left potentially. And it's not just special orders coming in. If you have any of those foods, like the oatmeal, for instance, once that comes on through, we're going to have to go in potentially up to however many, in this case, would be 8 oatmeals instead of 7. So it's like one extra one that you have to kind of juggle and take care of. Again, it's not super critical early on, but it can overwhelm you a little bit. And later on, you're really not wanting to have extra stations if you can help it. However, the caveat being, there is an advantage to having an extra prep station ready. And it tells you there that it's going to deduct a point from your required points total on a menu. So if something requires 10 points, you can only do, say, an 8-point menu. You're comfortable doing those things, but it needs 10. You're like, I can't do it. Well, maybe you're comfortable enough to do those, that 8-point menu with 2 extra stations there. So you put those on, and then it makes it, instead of a 10-point requirement, it lowers it down to 8 because you turned on 2 extra stations. So we'll see this in practice. You'll understand as we go. There's no reason to not have extra holding stations. That does not negatively impact anything ever. It just means you have more stations up top. And contrary to what's coming in on the left being, if you have more stations, you might have to do more food. Here, if you have more stations, you can cook 2 of one food or 3 of one food or whatever the case is. Or if something runs out, maybe you have an extra one just sitting there for, replenishment before it runs out. Like the extra holding stations, they're just a flat upgrade. It says, adding a holding station to your food truck. Having additional holding stations allows you to prep more foods before each stop, making it easier to handle multiple orders at once. There's literally no reason to ever turn these off, in my oh-so-humble opinion. All right, then you have heat lamps, which are good. Basically, foods in the holding stations are fresher, longer. 20%, 40%, 60% as you level it up. Over here, cooking time regulator. Special orders now stay in a perfect cook phase for longer, even longer, and then take twice as long to burn when it gets into the red zone. So essentially, once you hear that doo-doo, and then you have to serve it before it burns up, the initial one will increase the time it's in perfect cook a little bit longer, and then longer still on the second level. Then finally the third is it'll increase the time where it's about to burn, but it doesn't quite burn. So like it elongates that. So maybe start to finish it's 10 seconds. After the first one, I don't know the exact percentage, but let's say after the first one, it'll be 12 seconds. After the second one, it'll be 14 seconds. After the third, maybe it's 15 or 20 seconds or something, right? Because again, it doesn't give you the exact numbers. So it's something along those lines. So it is very useful, but both of these are not super important. The most important thing you can do, and it doesn't matter at all if you have any other strategies or ideas, because I'll show you what I'm going to do. But 100%, this is the most important upgrade of all time. It is the Special System Analyzer. Special orders not yet made when arriving at a stop now have 7 seconds of additional patience, all the way up to 21 seconds. So basically, if I pull up to a stop and I don't have any of the left food cooked yet, it's immediately going to start ticking down. People are going to be like, hey, you should have cooked some. What's going on? They'd be upset because their special order isn't done, or even cooking. However, if you get this maxed out, you roll up, you got 21 seconds after you pull up to that stop to get all those special orders done on the left. Which means that if you're still stumbling around and struggling up top, you have a little bit more of a leeway. And you desperately want, this is literally the most important upgrade you can possibly get. You need to get it as soon as possible. Nothing else matters. You go from here to here to here to here to there. Like that's it. Nothing else matters whatsoever. So we're going to need 2 more points for this, and then 1 point to get the first upgrade there, then 2 points for the second, and 3 points for the third. We're well on our way. So what do I do after I get this? Now, me personally, I go down and I go over to the aroma blower. Now, the aroma blower is not going to make your gameplay any easier. This is what and I'm still not 100% sure it's worth it, but I think it is. I haven't done the math or anything else, but essentially what the aroma blower does is, right now, if we get 80 perfect combos, we then get what's known as delicious combos. So every food, every order that we serve after that, after the 80 mark, as we continue the combo without breaking it, we get a 1% increase to our money, which means we're getting a 1% increase to our overall experience and everything, right? So say you have 180 stops and you do it perfect all the way through, or 180 orders, you do perfect all the way through. That means you're going to get the whatever you got for the 180, and then you're going to get an extra 100% on top of that. So you're going to essentially double what you do. So what the aroma blower does, again, does not impact gameplay in any way, shape, or form, but you get rewarded more for each level of the aroma blower. And it's a big commitment. You have to spend like 19 points or something. It's a lot. For each level of the aroma blower, you're going to basically be lowering that 80 down by 10, which in turn is going to essentially net you an additional 10, 20, 30, 40% more money and more experience. It sounds really good to me, but again, it's a huge commitment. You're literally giving up so much of your early game possible advantage that is it smarter to maybe go get the rejuvenator or something else first? Maybe. But if you're playing for the long game, you're going to go, as far as you can, and you want to get in there, this is going to expedite basically leveling up, which allows you to get more of these upgrade points. And it's going to get you more money, so you can get more crumb coins, so you can actually unlock new foods, and you can decorate your truck more if you want. So the big one for me, again, is really the experience increase, because you're going to get levels quicker. It might take you till, like level 80 or something to, oh, it was finally worth it. But at the same time, not getting that, it might also be worth it. You'll definitely get stronger earlier if you don't go that route. So that's basically the option there. Either go for this or just ignore it altogether. I think it's worth it, especially if you're going super late game. Now the problem is, once again, you're spending like 19 points to get it, and it's not really going to help you in any tangible way while playing. Again, it'll be the rewards that you get afterward. And the way this works, let me use my mouse here. This right here is your universal mastery level. YUM, your universal mastery, your YUM level. So essentially, we're a level 5. Once that goes around all the way, we're level 6. Every time we level up, we get one of these little things. These are spare parts that we get to use to do these food truck upgrades. So again, the faster we level up, the more parts we get, the more parts we get, the more we can level up. Again, it will set you back significantly if you go all the way and get it fully maxed out. But each time you do level it up, that's a 10% increase in experience, and so on and so forth. So, like I said, I feel it's worth it. I don't know. I haven't actually done the full math to see when or where it becomes worth it. That is the route I'm going to go. After that, I think the rejuvenator is just one of the greatest things in the entire game. The aroma blower is definitely number 1. Second one is the rejuvenator as an actual thing that's useful. Essentially what this does, and it's good going through the first 3 levels. It's good. It's pretty good. But once you hit level 4, it's great. That's what cements it. And it then makes the other 2 from before, these 2 here, the heat lamps and the cooking time regulator, really good as well, off the back of the rejuvenator. So what does the rejuvenator do? Essentially, when you leave your first stop, or anytime you leave a stop, so you come up, you do the food thing, everybody's happy, and then you go on to like the next area. When you leave the stop, you get +1 freshness at level 1, +2 freshness at level 2, +3 freshness at level 3, and you actually max out your freshness, bringing everything back to essentially how you just made it. However, at level 1, you get no extra bonuses. At level 2, you get 1 additional serving back. So if you served one thing, you would actually get that back. At level 3, you get 2 servings back, and at level 4, you get not only max freshness, you get 3 servings back. So oftentimes, I will never have to play around with anything up top after the initial time I do it, because they're getting refreshed every time, so they're not like, oh, these are going to go bad before the next stop. That doesn't happen as often. And number 2, we get 3 servings back each time. So if we happen to have like doubles of everything as we go, then sometimes they'll pull from this one, that one, this one, that one. They won't necessarily pull from the same one every time. And then maybe you pull 3 from one, 3 from another. That's 6 servings. You're like, oh, cool. And then boom, you get all of those back as soon as you leave that stop. So you're back up to max. So this is incredible. This is a really, really, really good one. Second only to the aroma blower. And then, like I said, what I like to do is couple that with the freshness longer. That way they never or very rarely expire all the way. So as soon as you leave the stop, even though they're like red and flashing, ready to go, boom, back to full freshness. It's really good. And then this one, of course, gives you a little bit longer to cook. It doesn't necessarily directly correlate with the rejuvenator, but it's still, it kind of works all in tandem there. Then this one's pretty good too, the serving cloner. The serving cloner essentially does exactly what you expect. So say you have the brisket that has the 18 servings. You get 1 level in this, it's got 19. You get it maxed out, you got an extra 6. That's 24 servings for your brisket. So serving cloner is really, really strong as well. I usually try to get like a couple of points into the serving cloner, and then I start doing other stuff. I usually max out the stuff up here, and then I make the choice of either going like 3, 4, 5, maybe even maxing it out, or I come down here and I go for the food truck reinforcements. Now, you haven't seen a food truck attack yet. You probably won't for a little while, but there's essentially, well, you did. You got to see it when I did the last episode where all the stuff, all the chaos was happening in the Iron Cook. So you get to see some of that, like one where they bumped me and knocked out all of my top foods there and all that stuff. Anyhow, the holding stations are reinforced, preventing them from being destroyed. That's when you'll see cybersecurity reinforced, preventing hack-based attacks from occurring. Food truck is reinforced, preventing any ram-based attacks. That's the one that knocks all your food out. The super attack is blocked at level 4. Super attack's pretty nasty. So it is really cool, and it can be incredibly helpful to get this early as well. Like I said, it really depends. Are you going to play for the late game? And you might struggle a little bit here and there, but I'm definitely going aroma blower into... I'm going special system analyzer into the aroma blower and then beyond. So that's pretty much it. Sorry, guys and gals. I told you it was going to be a few minutes. It was going to be a little bit longer than that. I knew it was. I was hoping to get through it as quickly as I could, but important stuff to tell you. So we're going to go through 2 more days here, and yeah, it should be great. So let's see if we can't. All right, we'll do a 3-stopper, and then we'll do a 2-stopper. Now you see up there it says PS +1. That's telling me that I have one of the prep stations added to it, which means I'm going to have 1 more on the left. You can go into the little sprocket there. It's pointed. It's right above there. It's kind of drawing your attention to that. If you don't want them on or you want more on, you can come back here and actually turn them on and off. So you don't have to go all the way back to the upgrade menu to turn them on and off when and where you need it. So let's take a look at what we got here. Oh boy. All right, well, we're going fish. And we're going to go with the moussaka. Over here, onigiri. Well, we'll do the chef's pie or the shepherd's pie, and we'll do the steamed momos. I like it. That'll work. That's going to be our dealie. So let's get into it. Let's get moving.
Hello, Chef. Good luck today.
Thank you, Whisk. Appreciate you. All right, moussaka actually is... Did that. All right, it's fine. The moussaka kind of spoils quickly, so I don't usually want to put it up until we're about here, about 1.7, 1.5. Then we do the moussaka. All right, shepherd's pie. It's either with cheese or without. So you see here, I have time to show you guys. So for me, I just look here and see if there's cheese here. If this is here, then I know I do all of it. If it's not, I stop one short of doing all of it. But you also see here, there's a 0-1 and there's a 0-2. Normally, you don't know how many there are until you like start to learn and look. I know there's only 2 variants of the shepherd's pie. So if you'd rather glance here and be like, oh, cheesy shepherd's pie, that's easier than looking for cheese down here. Whatever works for you. So that's with cheese. This is onigiri. This is also with cheese. This is minced meat. Let me get my cursor off the screen there. Minced meat again, and we're good. So, you know, important stuff. Kind of got to know the various different variants,
Order
if
up.
you will. The variety of variants are very important. I want moussaka. I want double cod, double fish.
Congratulations! That was
Double cod, double
perfect.
fish. And moussaka again should last. And what are we doing here? Rice ball, minced meat. Now on these, you have your normal add dough and then flatten. So you do that, boom, boom, and then you switch over, and it's even in the right color, minced meat and then wrap. So you look here and you're like minced meat, and then just gonna trigger that, and then we go to wrap. So
Ready for the
sometimes you're
next
looking at
stop?
stuff and it's a little bit different than what you're looking, or that you're used to looking at. So you just have to get used to how things work. This is vegetable, and this is also with cheese. All of the shepherd's pie so far has been with cheese, by the by.
Cooking and serving.
All right, we got through the fish. Looks like we're going to be doing some more moussaka action here. Got a little bit more fish. Now, I think I told you guys, you can mess up as often as you want. I mean, probably not to, but as often as you want up top. But whenever you're doing the orders on the left-hand side, you need to make sure that you get those right.
On it, chef.
So if it takes you a little bit of extra time to do those, sometimes that might be worth it. As I said, the ones on the left, super important. The ones on the right, you can mess up and it's not a big deal. You just toss it out. If it's valuable time you've used, yes, but you just toss it out and be fine with it. Like, I'm taking my time to redo everything up top to full. Now we're going here, and this is beef. So onigiri, always the same. Now what do we got? Now this is shepherd's pie without cheese. So you just don't hit the cheese and you serve it. Well, you don't serve it, you cook it. This is with cheese. Like I said, I just look at that bottom left. If cheese is there, I do it. If it's not, I don't. So shepherd's pie, very easy 2-point menu item if you can get into the rhythm to do all the stuff. Again, 2 variants, not overly complicated, and it's very easy to tell with or without cheese. Alright, this is our final stop, and all we need is another moussaka, and we are good.
Cooking and serving.
I believe that is another gold medal for us. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the series thus far. Like I said, it's going to be a while. We're doing a little bit heavy early on because, of course, the game is coming out and it's free to play. You guys can grab it and all that stuff. Coming up here on Epic in, well, just a few hours from now, essentially. Less than a day.
That was your best yet, Chef. Congratulations.
Thank you, Whisk.
Infinitely better than some of those other ones. Good job, Chef.
Unthank you, Cleaver. Anyway, so yeah, I figured I'd share and showcase that for you guys. And again, I'll be streaming on the day. So yeah, if you guys are, you know, wanting to see it live and all that stuff, by all means, stop on by the Twitch channel. It'll be twitch.tv/BumpyMcSquigums Gaming. I know, very short title, very, very, very easy URL to remember and type correctly. All right, we're gonna go to a 2-stopper. The 2-stoppers are fun, but at times they're going to be very, very difficult. So be aware. In the first area, it shouldn't be that complicated, but later on, what they like to do is they front load the first stop. They'll either front load. They usually give you like an easy stop, and then like a really difficult stop, or they give you a really difficult stop and then an easy stop, or you know, in the earlier stages, it's kind of just whatever, right? So I find that like I said, there's a few that are like easy and then get really hard. But most of the time, it's really hard, especially in the later game. It's going to be really hard to, like, it's going to be a really quick stop. A lot of food's coming in on the left, and you have a lot of variants up top. So what ends up happening is you go to get stuff done, and you only have, like, maybe 20, 25 seconds to literally do everything before you're already at the stop. So you got to get all those foods up top, or if they have like 4 and you have like 8 stations, you're like, I'm just gonna do one of each, get all the stuff done on the left, and then start filling out more on top. So the 2 stoppers are a lot of challenge. But after you get through that initial first stop, that can be really difficult to get later in the game. Usually you have everything prepped up top when you leave, so the second stop is easier in general, and they also usually don't kind of crush you as hard. So it's just telling us down here, this blue box that popped up, just telling us that we can turn on or off our prep stations. Right now they're currently off, and they could be turned on. I don't want to turn them on. All right, let's use some of the stuff we've already used. It's not really great choices, to be honest. All right, the croquet monster. We'll use the roats, groats, magoats. I'm going to use the stuffed artichokes and some frozen nanners because of reasons. We're going to go ahead and gelato it up again. I am going to throw something a bit more challenging in here. Let's go with a regular salad. And yeah, we'll throw the veal marsala back in there. Why not? All right. So 5-point menu. We're throwing a 14 at it. It's almost triple. It's fine. It's fine. Just give you guys a little bit of a taste of something different. Don't always want to do the same foods.
Fully charged and ready
It
to
doesn't hurt
go.
you if you do, by the way. If you could use a food, use it. If you're comfortable with it and you're not trying to get like extra points or whatever, by all means. Alright, strawberry, stuffed artichokes, and frozen nanners. Alright, over here. Hazelnut. Peppermint. Alright, we're doing ranch, we're doing some egg bits, some croutonians, mushrooms, tomatoes, and cucumbers.
Ready? We're nearly there.
Other than the croutons, I think I would have eaten all that. I don't like croutons. I know some people love it. Some people are like, that's the best part of a salad. I'm like, alright, cool. Yeah, no, I'm just not a big fan.
Will do,
I don't want to eat like hardened bread clumps in my salad. I'd rather just eat salad, you know? But hey, you do you. You do you. I am okay if you like your hardened bread clumps. That is okay. We can have differing tastes. That's why there's so much variety in food. All right, we're taking a look. We're going to need some more roats, groats, magoats, and we're going to need some more stuffed artichokes. 4 more and 6 more, respectively, or respectively, or reverse-spectively. There were specs involved. I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and get the other croquet monster ready. Let's go ahead and get the stuffed chokes of hearts out. 12 stops remain. We're going to get through. It's fine. All right. The downside to the stuffed artichokes is that it's super long to cook or prepare them. So, yeah, really sit here and wait a long time for certain things. It's like, all right, everything's done except we're short one on the roats, groats, magoats. It's fine. Just gonna let that one fly. All right, caramel. Caramel. All right, cool. We got chocolate. What else we got? It's pretty relaxing at this point, you know. When you get comfortable with the controls and everything, you know. You've done much more challenging stuff. I see they didn't give me a lot in the way of salad this time around. I'm a little disappointed in them. I mean, we only had what, 1? We had 1 4-point menu item that is like, yeah, here's a bunch of 2s. It's not
We
big
got
deal.
this, Chef.
I mean, I would have preferred. We're gonna do another roats, groats, magoats here, and 1 more artichoke, and then that should do everything for us. Yep.
Order up.
So once the arties are done, then we good. And they're going to definitely be the last things that we're waiting on. Because, yeah, everything else, yep, cooks way quicker. Even the veal marsala there. Veal marsala. That's fine. All right, so another perfect day for us, guys and gals. I think we're gonna break it off right here. I could do 1 more probably, but A lot of information, big information dump here. Like I said, don't forget to come check me out. Hang out with me on Twitch today.
I think that's a perfect
from
run.
10 a.m. I'm going to say to about noon. And the game releases at 11 Eastern for you to grab free on the Epic Games store. So make sure you guys go do that. Check it out, play it. Like I said, again, these 3 episodes have been very full of information. Trying to help you guys out as best I can. Control scheme, very important. Find out what works best for you. But try all of them. If immediately you resonate with the keyboard, great. Come back to that. Try the controller. After, you know, maybe learn the basics of the game so you have it in your mind and know how to play. Then try the controller once you're at least relatively comfortable with how the game plays. And then give it, you know, a few hours and come back and be like, yeah, no, I like the controller. Or, controller's not for me. I'd rather do keyboard. So, whatever works for you. Just make sure you do that and all the other cool stuff I told you guys, and you'll be well on your way to being victorious. So if you guys are wondering how we unlock additional places, I'll give you this one last thing before we go. Whenever you go to a place, you usually start at A1. You just hit left once. You're going to go to whatever the final letter is. In this case, it's E. And then where it has the exit at the bottom, it tells you this is the final day for this area. So whenever we get at least 10 silver medals, gold counts beyond silver. So we have 7 gold medals right now. So if we get 10 gold medals, for instance, we will be able to go and take the, what I like to call the exit exam, or take the exit the last day, the final day. And once that happens, there's going to be a cutscene, which I'm really looking forward to this one. It's great. And then you go to a new area. When you go to the new area, there's also some dialogue back and forth between Whisk and Cleaver, and it's good. It's good. It kind of advances the quote-unquote story a bit and kind of tells you a little bit about the areas that you're in. It's good times. It's good times. I really like this first one getting finished. So if we were trying to speed our way through this as quickly as possible, I would probably do another 2-point stop here. I would do a 4-point stop. Yeah, probably the 2 4-point stops, or sorry, the 4 stoppers here. And then I would go and I would finish this up. And then I would head out. But we're going to gold this whole place out before we go for the exit exam. That'll probably be over the next 2 to 3 episodes, maybe 4. We'll see. And I shouldn't really have to do a lot more explaining. There'll be some, but not much more. So we'll be able just to dive into the game and play it. It'll be fun. All right, folks, that is going to do it for this episode. Hopefully I'll catch some, if not all, many, I don't know, tons, billions of you. Billions, that's what I want. A billion. I want to become the highest watched streamer of all time. Let's get a billion of you to randomly drop in. It'll be fun. No, I'll see you guys hopefully on Twitch today. I'm assuming that when this video goes live on August the 11th, 2022 at 10 a.m. Eastern through till 12 p.m. So take care. I've been your host, Bumpy McSquigums. We play, we fight, we conquer.